Hello guys, Easter Monday, hard at it. So I just want to do a short video about the 24 and 25 KTM65 and a few things that I found with this little engine of late. There's lots of information out there about whether they are any good or they're not in the power valve department and whatnot. And the truth is they just need some minor modifications to make them work better and more reliable and open up every time they're demanded to from the pulse through the exhaust. So HDS exhaust pipes always been one of my long-time favourites on two-strokes, and they still are. Although with this particular 65, which is the 24 and 25 model, we found a problem. So the problem is with how the pulse through the exhaust is delivered to the power valve diaphragm. It opens and shuts the power valve, and with the standard pipe on that, the standard pipe actually works quite well on the 24 and 25 model compared to previous years. But the HDS chamber is a better chamber, there's no doubt about it. Although, this is where the punchline is. The silencer has a much bigger baffle coil, and it really upsets the bleed off time to the chamber, and it affects how the power valve opens and closes. The early model, did the same thing somewhat, but there was other things that we could do to overcome that. But this new cylinder design, it's a bit more important to get it right. So my advice to you is, first of all, HDS chamber, it's a great thing, right? Use the standard silencer, right? If you don't want to use the standard silencer and you want to use the HDS, that's fine. Send me the HDS silencer and I will modify it so it'll work correctly and the power valve will open and close properly. Now at 8,500 RPM, if you use the HDS silencer, and this is with a stock engine, this is no modifications at all, okay? It's straight out of the box. So we're not talking about big carburetors and ported cylinders and this, because that all affects how the power valve operates too, because it affects the pressure in the pipe and whatnot. But on a stock motorbike, there's a 2 horsepower loss at 8,500 RPM if you use the HDS silencer, right? And it doesn't matter, I can't tune it back. It doesn't matter how we jet it, or I even put another ignition on it and change the mapping settings and that, and it doesn't matter what we do, we can't tune it back. Although you use the HDS expansion chamber, but use the standard muffler, and bang, straight back to normal. It actually makes more peak horsepower and it makes more over rev, hence the bleed off time has changed. And when I say bleed off time, it's, some people call it back pressure. I don't like to call it that in a two-stroke. It's bleed off time, it's stinger diameter. It's the time that it takes to bleed pipe off. Now, we can modify your original HDS silencer, or I'm going to release these silencers on our website to purchase already modified. There is no way that I will sell one of these without modifying it first. It's not that HDS has got it wrong, okay, so we need to clear that up. What it is the for this particular application, the size that they're using is just not ample. It might have been ample for the early model, and it was. I haven't seen this with the earlier model cylinder. It's only with this later one. And people mistake power valve issues, right, and jamming and whatnot with this bleed off issue, I believe. Now there is still an issue, with the power valve, and you can sandwich your cylinder and the power valve in the head, and we can blueprint that. So that works a hell of a lot better. We don't have to port the cylinder, we can just improve the action of the power valve arrangement. This little bike is just all standard 24 model, and we've now put a pipe on it with the modification done to the silencer, and it's made a substantial difference in over rev, peak horsepower, and download pull. You can open the throttle wide open in top gear on the dyno here, and there's just no hesitation. It's just banging away. I'll try and give you a close-up of these. Are just some of the sample graphs there. I know it's hard to see. What I'll do is I will post this information as well on our Facebook page, and I'll probably put it in a listing as well on the silencer, just to show you. So to do the silencer, it's only an easy modification. It'll cost you $150 to do the modification. If it needs to be repacked, obviously that'll be on top. Now this applies, once again, to 24 and 25 model bikes, and more than likely, if they don't change it, the 26 as they come around. Now, when you have an adjustable power valve spring and the damper on there's some aftermarket products around, your results may vary, okay? But what we're talking about is the average punter going out and buying the motorcycle, putting a HGS pipe on it, and going, wow, it goes good up top, but I've lost so much power down low, and off the turns it's not as good. I was quite surprised on the dyno of what it did, and I went and backtracked again and put the other silencer on and put the HGS on, because it was nearly unbelievable how much difference that it actually made. Anyway, over and out.